to attend to. We have more important things to attend to. Let's watch some Rocket League. Let's watch some Flying Dutchman versus iBP. Let's see what happens with my Rocket League mug. Anyone's in the stream today? Yeah, probably.
Let's go ahead and get ready for this matchup. Are you guys ready? Oh, no. That is a poor attempt at hype, okay? We got thousands of people watching at home. Are you guys ready? Let's go ahead and toss it over to our casters, Wave Punk and Findable Carpet.
Plus boy. Boy plus.
Flying Dutchmen against iBP Power Cosmic, the clear favorites in the house, but the Flying Dutchmen not a team to be written off.
Why all the pluses? Because my keyboard won't stop writing plus everywhere.
They're coming off of that victory, like from previous.
I'm gonna get global banned. I closed the tab. I'm gonna get global banned. Look how fast that was.
Vogan is the most determined person I've ever met in my entire life.
Oh, did you guys see how fast that was? I'm gonna get global banned. Holy cow. Oh my. I'm gonna get global banned. It isn't me, I swear. It's not me. It's so quick. How can it be that fast? I don't understand. It's like so fast. It's like so quick. Oh my word. Did you guys see, like, there was nothing but pluses. Nothing but. I'm gonna get global banned. I'm so done. Oh man.
It's what you want, guys. Let's see how this goes.
I love the story.
Wow.
Flying Dutchman actually came to be. How they all
Can I disable a key downloadable thing? Oh my goodness, it's too fun.
Just found each other, knew how to play together, and now look where they are in the top four for the RLCS, the Rocket League Championship Series.
Wait, they streamed the make some noise. Now everybody knows that it was just we were only making noise because we were scared of the screen that was telling us to. Wow. Well, what happens if I unplug the keyboard? Right, keyboard is not plugged in. Still doing it, right, I closed the tab. Still doing it without a keyboard. Right. I'm so banned. But either way, let's ignore the pluses.
But there was a shot on net that was just a little bit too high at the top crossbar that no one would have been able to contest.
It's so bizarre. Why is it doing plus enter 1,000,000 times a second? I've never seen that before. So perfectly. How did Lachino do that? What on earth? Oh, that's how. Two people following up on a trusting infield dribble. If somebody's going to dribble the ball infield like that, then between Vogan and Jesse, one of them can follow up, but certainly not both of them. One of them should be ready for the dunk. No, it's just I'll get chat banned. Don't worry, I'm not going to get my channel banned. It's just my chat. Do I have a mouse key bound to plus? No. Huh. It's not the greatest clear. Dogu trying to clear it middle. For those of you who don't know, I'm sure most of you do. Never clear the ball down the middle if you can avoid it in 3v3. Much safer to get it to the side. If you're not going to clear it like a long distance, make sure that you don't clear it central. It's kind of a meaningless hit there by Jesse because nobody's going to be there for it if we watch again. When Dogu is already committed to this, then he gets taken out the game by Kurnovi. Vogan passes it to Jesse. Jesse passes it to nobody. That's just giving away possession by passing it across the goal like that. He should be passing it to the near post so that at least Dogu has a chance. The danger with that, though, is if you pass it near post and their goalkeeper reads it, he can intercept and make a very fast counter-attack happen. Which is why most people, instead of just passing it off the wall low, will go for a higher pass off the near post. Gonna do some 1v1s, that is indeed what I tweeted, so we'll see.
People didn't know Kurnovi is a really big striker, but I've seen a lot of really good defensive touches by him, putting it out to the corner, keeping it up against the wall instead of letting it bounce.
Oh, kaboom.
Just overall very good awareness of what he needs to be touching it to.
Vogan put that one on the backboard, but over zero immediately responded.
Kronovi going for a lot of dunks again, which is something that he, you know, he likes to go for those dunks and predictions, which, like he said himself, is a lot easier to do on 0 ping than it is on, like, even 30 or 50, or especially 100 or 150.
Dutchmen, they have been very, very trapped within this last 2 seconds.
iBP Power's been putting a lot of pressure on them, making it tough for them to clear it out. Every time they think they've got control, they're just going to clear it right back into their half. The flying Dutchman.
It's a really good touch by Dogu, not as great by Vogan. Like, that shot from Jesse's never going to be super powerful because he has to go up above the ball, then generate momentum by coming down on it again. He can't really, you know, go forward and into it. So pretty much Jesse's not going to be hitting that shot with supersonic speed because Vogan passed it too high.
They aren't playing as fast as they did in the previous series, but iBP Power is still doing what they need to do. They're keeping control.
When will I be done with RLCS VOD reviews? We're going to watch this series and 2 more series today. Then maybe watch some 1v1s. That's my tentative plan.
2 goals were scored in the first minute, and now we've had 2 silent minutes from either side. Chinio going to try and push this one out alongside Kronovi. They get it over Dogu. Vogan is there.
How am I going to do one? Don't worry, I'll fix it. I'll find a way. I'll probably just restart or something.
Solid touch from Dogu. Keeps that one away. Over zero wasn't quite there to finish it off. Lachinio goes up to touch it, but misses. Over zero keeps the pressure on, but there's Vogan able to push that one. Kronovi and Lachinio going to haytail it back. Get out of there. Vogan
Kaboom.
able to get the demo onto over zero. Great opportunity here if Jesse can get the angle, but it's not going to happen on the touch from Lachinio. A solid.
Do I recognize your name? Bond brother? I don't think so. Where should I know your name from? Were you at RLCS? Oh dear. It's funny, Jesse plays. Notice how Jesse's playing. If I rewind, I'm sure most of you saw it, but up here, he's got his elbows on the table, so a lot of people thought he was playing keyboard mouse, but he's actually a controller. He just rests his elbows on the table like that. What are my favorite games to watch apart from Flipside? I love watching iBP, love watching Northern, love watching Supersonic Avengers. Notice that the common trend here is that all these teams are the best teams. I just love watching the best teams play. Like, if you follow analysts in pretty much any sport or esport, they'll always, you know, like watching the best games between the best teams. That's just a pretty consistent thing. Nice play. People in the crowd were losing their minds for anything backwards. If anybody's flying like this backwards, which is pretty standard in the pro scene, crowd was like, what? How is he doing that? They were just like, all these noobs in the crowd behind me, like, absolutely losing their minds for that. And that's not a bad thing. Like, that's really cool, actually. Like, if they're realizing that he's backwards and being amazed by it. My favorite NA team, as, like, friends, Genesis, to watch play, iBP. Although before the LAN, my favorite team to watch play was probably Exodus or Kings. Although Momentum are looking pretty good these days also. But yeah, iBP just do, you know, they're fun to watch because I've always been a team who score lots of cool goals with sick redirects. But even before they were like considered one of the best, if not the best team in the world, they always did that, which is fun to watch. And also seeing a team full up on defense is pretty funny as well. So they used to do that all the time. That should be saved probably. Not that it makes a difference when you're 4-0 down with 4 seconds left. Yeah, there's loads of noobs. Loads of iBP fanboys. Yeah, Exodus are a lot of fun to watch when they're on. I mean, Jacob for KOU is one of my favorite players to watch. Garrett from Exodus, another one of my favorite players to watch from NA. Then I love watching Gambit play, Lachinio, Kronovi obviously, and over zero at the LAN was insane. iBP just looks so calm now, because they've already beaten Flipside. That's like their nemesis, because for the longest time, Flipside, I don't know if Flipside have lost to iBP
firepower separate from
ever, have they?
in the
Since
past
like
is sometimes
ages
they're
ago, like when
aggressive.
Gibbs was in the lineup. Have IBP with Gambit like ever beaten Flipside? I don't think they have. And even with Gibbs on the lineup, they only beat Flipside like once. Then Flipside beat IBP so many times. Even back when they were called Cosmic Aftershock, Flipside were usually dominant in that matchup. So beating Flipside is such a huge thing for Kronovi especially, but for IBP as a whole. That after that, they must have felt like so comfortable.
Against teams that are of the top tier, and they're determined. They are very
They won the first Rocket Royale after RLCPL. I don't think they beat Flipside though. I'm pretty sure that to do that, IBP only beat Supersonic Avengers. I say only. They beat Supersonic Avengers and Weedham Girls. MDog95, thanks for the sub, dude. You're officially a Rubber Johnny. But I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they played against Flipside in that Rocket Royale, CJ. I don't think they did. Pods never lost to IBP. I remember like really shortly after IBP became a thing, like right after they announced the super team with Kronovi, Latch, Gambit, there was a, I think it was a Mocket 3v3 King of the Hill, and I was streaming, just like, I was just messing about on my stream, and some guy comes into my stream's chat, and he said to me, hey, I was doing 2v2 with C-Hop72, or Chop72, whatever you want to call him. Hold that thought. I think Lachino's probably the best in the world at those. Just like popping redirects. It's noteworthy. But anyway, like I was saying, I think this guy, he came into my chat, some viewer, and he said, hey, do you and Chops want to like join me for King of the Hill 3v3 and mock it? About to play against IBP. I was like, alright, let's go. I don't even know if they're called IBP at that point. I think, no, they definitely were. They definitely were. It's IBP. So it's going to be Gambit, Lachinio, and Kronovi against me, C-Hop72, and a random PS4 player from my chat who finished off the game with he had the donuts, and like he wasn't a good player, he was very bad. And IBP only beat us 4-2, and I scored both goals. So I was like, nah, these guys are overrated, you know? That was like before I'd even seen them play a tournament. I was like, nah, they're not that good. They can barely beat me and some PS4 noob with donuts and Chopped. What hope do they have against real teams? And then they went on some tear, undefeated in NA for the longest time. I was like, oh, I guess they were just messing around or something. Another bit of trivia, while I'm on that train of thought, is Gambit is one of the nicest players in quick chat that I've ever seen. One of the nicest quick chatters. Because I remembered I scored a good goal against them, where Gambit was in net, and I just popped it over him in the top left, and he said, nice shot, and I was like, yeah, thank you, Gambit. I appreciate that. Oh, over zero. Notice what over zero does here is actually quite an easy mistake to make. Let's see if we can find it. So right here, over zero is driving up the wall, and he wants to side flip to the right. And what your side flip will do when you're on a wall is you can't like go up with a side flip. You can only go horizontally. So let's say that he's tilted his car to the left here, which he has clearly. Like his angle up the wall is to the left. That means that if he side flips to the right, like he's hoping to, his car will actually flip towards the wall, because that's just how the physics of the game works. And if side flips to the left here, that will actually take him off the wall, like away from it, along towards the middle of the field. But he just flips the wrong way and misses the ball anyway. Like what he would have had to do here is like readjust himself so that he's pointing to the right and then side flip to the right, because that would take him straight into the path of the ball. But it's difficult to do these, or just don't side flip at all. Just double jump. Double jumping off the wall is really good. Like wait for the bounce, double jump into it, pops it into the middle of the field pretty far. But it's worth mentioning because a lot of people don't know how to do this very reliably. Like they don't know how to get that ball from this position and clear it. And there's two things to remember. One, the wall is just a sideways floor. Sounds really stupid to say, but it's true. Like the wall is just a sideways floor. What do you do if you want to get distance on the ball when you're hitting it off the deck? Wait for the bounce. Same thing on the wall. Wait for the bounce. It already has momentum coming off the wall, and you're just adding to that momentum. And the other thing is dodging off walls. You can never go up with a dodge. You can never go down. You can only go sideways or like along the wall or back along the wall or into the wall. You can only go like in this axis and then like the depth as well. You can flip into the wall or away from it. That's what you have to remember. Side flips are really useful when you're flipping off a wall because they take you really far off the wall actually. Like you can side flip off the back wall and land somewhere like halfway to the middle of the pitch depending on how you are. That's what you need to be able to do. He needs to wait for the bounce and then connect, but he just flips the wrong way.
20 or 30 seconds. Overzero was going to take that off the wall, but he wasn't able to get it. Vogan and Jesse doing a passing play off the backboard, and Jesse with a wide open net, giving them.
How's my day going? My day's going pretty good actually. I'm up really late as usual, but my schedule got ruined by jet lag, and now I'm kind of feeling well again. Like I lost my voice and my throat was really sore, and my joints were aching from flying and staying awake too long. But now I'm feeling a lot better. You can do a thing depending on how it is. Did I say that? I didn't mean to say that. Freestyle.
But while he didn't actually sink it in, he forced the defender to come out of net to make the save, and Kronovia just had an easy shot after that.
3:55 left to go. iBP Power down by 1. Jesse and Vogan moving up onto the.
Do you have to have a sponsor to create a team to compete in high-level tournaments? Nope. The Flying Dutchmen don't have a sponsor. Right before the tournament, Northern Gaming picked up a team that was formerly called We Dem Girls. They didn't have a sponsor till Northern Gaming picked them up right before the LAN. iBP are sponsored, Flipside are sponsored, Kings of Urban are not sponsored, Genesis are not sponsored, Exodus are not sponsored. So 3 out of the 4 teams from NA were not sponsored going into the LAN. And only half of the EU teams were. Well, actually, no, 3 out of 4 of the EU teams were. Mucket is a sponsor as well. So yeah, only half the teams at LAN were sponsored.
Jesse might buy space, but Kronovia's right there. He's able to take the spot of Lachinio in goal. And now they are responding, moving
Yeah,
down the field.
4 teams did not have a sponsor.
Lachinio's up, but it's not going to happen. Dogu clears it off to the side.
And other really good teams like Momentum and Supersonic Avengers, they don't have sponsors either. Like, there's pretty much only 4 big sponsors in the scene. They're not even big sponsors. They're just, they're reasonable sized organizations.
Read that trajectory before it even came off the hood of the car. But iBP Power needs to be careful. We know they're great at solo plays, but if they force too many solo plays, they're going to get.
That's a really good touch by Overzero. I think for me, LAN MVP, like Dogu was for me the player on Flying Dutchman who caused the most problems for the other team, which is very important to do. You need to cause problems for the other team, or else without that, you just have to wait for them to make mistakes, and sometimes that's not enough. Like if you're only playing off your mistakes of your opponents, and you're not forcing any mistakes yourself, then you're leaving yourselves open to getting outplayed.
I mean, they're 1 point up with 2 minutes left, but they have been showing quite a big change from the first game. They're keeping control a lot more. They're trying to
Eat killer, yeah. When you dodge at any moment on any place on the map, whatever vertical momentum you did have is nullified. And then gravity takes its course, and any boosting that you do up or down takes its course as well. But whenever you dodge, your upward or downward momentum is nullified. So if you're falling really quickly and you dodge, you can be falling and then you dodge, and then suddenly you're just like stationary in the middle of the field and you start flying up again. Noteworthy, it won't be very fast that you fly up because you're flying from a stationary position, but that's one way of recorrecting your positioning while in the air.
Solid pop out. Dogu reads it, sends it back to midfield. Both teams able to create some good setups.
A little bit of miscommunication there between Overzero and Latch, I believe it was.
Dogu gonna drop that one in though, and Vogan is misses the touch.
Oh, what?
A tie game.
Oh, that's a criminal miss. I remember this one now.
Able to read each other and clear it back away.
Look at this pass from Dogu. This is such a good pass. Look at that. He's up already before the ball is even hit off the wall. And then, like, Kronovia and Overzero both think he's missed because the ball goes past him, and then it hits the wall, and then he gets it. So both Kronovia and Overzero, massive misplay to both commit to this ball. They both think the Dogu's missing, and he isn't. Incredible pass. I don't know why Vogan's already in the air. Like, why? And then, just like I was saying earlier, you can't dodge down. Vogan wants to be dodging into this position down here to hit the ball because that's where the ball's going. It's like going over here, but you can't dodge down. He's flown up too high.
Vogan is there. He misses the top.
That's such a shame because Dogu's assist here is so good. I need to see where Dogu started his flight path. Oh, sorry, I rewind by mistake. I meant to be passing. I meant to be pausing. Here we go.
Both teams able to create some good setups, but also on the flip.
Alright, Dogu just jumps off the deck, and then... What a pass by Dogu, that's sick. Oh, there's no reason for Vogan to be up already. I don't know why he jumps. Like, I always tell people who I'm coaching that you only need to jump if you... Like, only jump in Rocket League if you have to. You only need to jump for a ball. Oh, Dogu in the post hit. Dutchmen are getting robbed here. Well, they're kind of throwing, to be honest. But yeah, you only need to jump for a ball in Rocket League for like 3 reasons. 1, because it's going into your net and you need to stop it. 2, because it's going into... Or you can just score into the open net and jumping is the only way you can reach it. Or 3, because the ball is going to go to an opponent and you want to beat him to it. They're the 3 reasons in Rocket League that you want to jump for the ball. Well, also you could add a 4th, like you want to jump up and make a pass at an earlier moment. Like, but it's pretty simple. You don't need to jump unless there's like an obvious reason to do it. Like, you know, you have to make a pass or a save or a goal, or because you want to beat an opponent to it. And right there, like, Vogan could have just driven in the ground and then jumped last second and hit the easy shot, but he increased the skill cap of his maneuver by jumping early, and he suffered the consequences.
Overzero waits patiently, gets it past Vogan, over to Lachinio, but Jesse coming in from the side to interfere with that one, keep it away. 20 seconds left on the clock.
It's something that a lot of newbie players will do. They'll see pros jumping before they hit every shot, because pro players do like to jump. You don't need to jump unless you need to. I know it sounds stupid, but it's true. They'll see pros jump for every hit, because that's just what you do once you get used to hitting the ball. You always want to hit the ball in the right place, so you jump up to meet it. But newbie players, they'll see pros do that, and they'll jump up for absolutely every single ball, and then they'll just hit the ball straight down into the ground again. What they fail to realize is that pro players are jumping up and then placing their car on the ball to hit the ball in a specific way. They're not just jumping to hit the ball early all the time. They're just jumping so that they can get a favorable angle.
Blocked out by Overzero, but the offensive from the Flying Dutchman still alive here.
Like, one of the most important lessons that I learned in Rocket League was to hit the bottom of the ball, like hit the ball on the underside to maintain the height on it. Because for a long time, all I did was I would go up for an aerial and hit it straight down again. I just hit the top of the ball and it would go down, which is far easier for the other team to deal with than a high ball.
One of the defenders will mess up, or a mistouch will happen, and the Flying Dutchman right now is putting a lot of pressure on iBP Power.
It's also worth mentioning iBP's wall defense, like that wall clear by Kronovi. That's something that we see him, Overzero, and Lachinio doing with great consistency and confidence. Like, every time you saw one of them go up for one of those wall clears, you're not afraid that they're going to miss, because they're really, really good at them. That play, though, this is like such a weird play. Look at this. Overzero landing on Jesse. Jesse accidentally jumping on the, or hitting the ball. Like, Overzero's flipping, and then he just lands on Jesse. And then now Jesse's also out of control. The ball just hits him, which takes away Dogu's free shot. And then Vogan comes in for the shot from a tighter angle. Bear in mind, Vogan does not need to rush this shot. He can just take his time here. I don't know why Vogan's rushing. He should just maybe take a touch and then shoot, because shooting from this distance, you put your money on Overzero saving a lot of the time. But if Vogan like just takes one touch and then shoots, Overzero's probably not saving it most of the time, because he's out of boost at this point. So not the greatest shot, and Overzero does enough to let his team come back.
Transition, the counter play. Can Overzero wrap this one around? He puts it onto the backboard. Jesse reads it, sends it back to the corner. Lachinio keeps it in the corner. A light touch.
What up, Mystical Marksman? How you doing, man?
Jesse are both there in goal. No one able to find a shot just yet. Kronovi and Overzero moving up here, but Dogu is there as well. Ball's spending a lot of time.
See, like that tiny little noise that you hear when the camera zooms in for somebody going for an aerial, that little of the Batmobile in the venue. That was like thrusters of a space station taking off. Honestly, it was so loud, and it sounded awesome, to be fair. Overzero couldn't get the steal. What happened to the defense of right, Vogan is on the wide rotation. Let's figure out what went wrong here.
that one up.
Don't know what Jesse was doing. He takes himself out of the game. Vogan's in a wide rotation. And then Dogu making a big risk because he's the last line of defense. And if you're the last line of defense in any game mode, making a challenge like this from the side, like just look at the angles that the players are coming from. Kronovi's coming from here. Dogu's coming from here. That means that the perfect median for their cars is this way, like right here. If we call this 12 o'clock and this is 3 o'clock, like the ball is most likely going to squeeze out at about 7:30. And that's towards the IBP goal. Doesn't even turn into a 50-50. Kronovi just beats him. But think about it as best case scenario there for Dogu is a 50-50. So he probably shouldn't be taking it because he's coming at it from the side. The only way that that's a good idea is if he knows he's getting to the ball clean before Kronovi's getting a touch on it, which was not close to the case.
But he wasn't able to make it in time. iBP Power able to clinch this in an overtime victory.
Oh man, it was such a solid play from the Flying Dutchman. They got out to the early lead, and then iBP Power able to claw back into that one.
Over Zero's a player. Over Zero's a LAN boy, dude.
Seconds of overtime, back and forth between these two teams. Both teams have an awesome.
Yeah, I heard the Batmobile sales have gone up. That's pretty cool.
Right there, they could have put it in. They could have taken the win.
Why do I think there haven't been any sponsors getting into the Rocket League scene since RLCS? We have to be patient. Like, there's conversations going on behind doors that we're not aware of in the public yet. You just have to be patient, wait and see what happens.
They have so much time and opportunity. They finally started to pick up the pace. They started to actually play as iBP Power had. They were trying to contest the balls more often. They were understanding that they were going to try and make some more solo plays, so they were trying to shut down the solo plays early on and get those passing plays.
But now the Flying Dutchmen have a mountain to climb if they want to stay in the upper bracket here. They got to win 3 straight against iBP Power. iBP Power getting out to that 2-0 lead. It's going to be hard work for them, but like you said, they are determined. Vogan is one determined person.
If there's any team I think they can pull it off, it's the Flying Dutchmen. They do not let defeats really put them down too hard. They understand they have their eyes set on that trophy.
Absolutely.
Right in the middle of that stage. They're just looking at it. And they know
I don't really like the Flying Dutchman's story that the casters and the analysts were telling. I've said this before, but I feel like it missed an opportunity to just tell the underdog story instead of a team that have their eyes on the prize, which, I mean, let's be real. Even though Vogan said that they were going to win the whole thing, did he really think that? In his day one interview when he said, yeah, we're going to win the whole thing, did he really believe that? I don't think so. I think that they should just be saying, you know, we're here to prove the haters wrong. People say they don't deserve to be here. They've got nothing to lose. Every victory is just another step beyond where people expected them to go. That's the story that I would have told people about the Flying Dutchman, because honestly, that's what happened. You know? Positioning for goalkeeping. Don't be afraid to be behind the goal line, because if you're behind the goal line, then you have more of the goal in front of you. A lot of people will position themselves slightly off the goal, or slightly in front of the goal line, I should say. Then the ball goes above their head and they think, uh-oh, what do I do? But if you're actually slightly behind the goal, similarly to how you start off in All-Star goalkeeper training, then you can actually fly out of the goal and towards the ball, which is much easier than flying straight up in the air. Besides that, if the shot's coming from a distance, just point your nose of your car at the ball, because that's the easiest way to get accustomed to saving it. Just point your nose, just follow the play, point your nose at the ball, wherever it goes. That's the most important thing to learn when you're starting off to learn goalkeeping. Is just face the ball at all times. Because if you're facing the ball, then you always drive forward at it intuitively. You don't have to like drive, you know, this way while the ball's coming at you this way, or something like that. But then as you become more and more advanced, you can start doing sideways saves, where you start off, you know, having your car actually perpendicular to the play, and you save things across the goal. The advantage with that is that you're naturally clearing the ball when you make your save. You're naturally clearing it to the side to safety. Taking a speech so seriously? Yeah, you're right. I am. People better give good interviews, or else I'm going to criticize them.
This goes up so high. Vogan and over Zero pinch that. It comes straight down. Dogu did his best. He knew he had to get high for that, because he knew that Lachinio would be sitting on the ground waiting.
Yeah, Dogu just panicked there. He knew over Zero and Lachinio were there, so he went up early, and he missed as a result. That's what happens sometimes when you feel threatened and you have to go up for the ball before you're comfortable. Well, before a time where you're absolutely comfortable. Any tips for someone who wants to give Rocket League casting a shot? Just stream yourself commentating things with a face cam and a good microphone, or a decent microphone. My microphone's not amazing, but it's good enough. That's a fantastic pass by Zero.
net. Incredible team play.
2-0 in favor of
So yeah, just stream yourself casting some viewer games or something, and if you can't get any viewers, cast some bots, and then really get into it as much as you can, and show that to Clydefield and the guys at Rocket League Central, because they're always looking for more casters. They're like the central hub for Rocket League casting. I take it you meant tips for how to become noticed as a caster. If you want tips on actual casting, like theory and like practices, then I could explain some of those. But if you just mean getting into casting as a hobby, then that's how I would do it. That's how I did it. I just, you know, made some videos. Oh, what a shot by Vogan. That's actually Vogan's best goal of the whole LAN. Unfortunately, not in the right goal. Bang. That's pretty solid. We need to see this again. Yeah, Vogan just flying for, like, he doesn't slow down before he goes up for this. He's already got way too much forward momentum. He wants to pop it into the corner, but he's going too quick. He didn't hit the brakes before jumping, so he's like having to fly backwards. And then just poops it into the goal.
Unfortunate touch is going to make it 3-0.
He was in a tough situation. Vogan tried to chase this from underneath. He actually wasn't in net when this came in. He might have thought it was
one thing that lower ranked players need to improve, what would it be? I would say one thing, man. That's so stingy.
Dutchmen, they got their work cut out for them. They got to win 3 games, and it's going to start by getting 3 goals just to even force an overtime. Possibly.
One thing.
Jesse sets this one up, and Kronovi is there. They're shutting down everything at the midfield.
If I could just teach people like how to rotate intuitively, and by that I mean like rotation does not mean player 1 hits the ball, player 2 hits the ball, player 3 hits the ball, player 1 hits the ball, etc., etc. That's not rotation. Ah, Jesse and Dogu in perfect synchrony, taking themselves out of the game. But rotation is just getting out of the way of your teammates, essentially. Giving your teammates space to make quality hits. That's what rotation is. So I would teach people rotation and the proper meaning of it, not just the... For some reason, a lot of people think, yo, you hit the ball, then one of your teammates hit the ball, then you hit it again. You broke rotation. But that's not necessarily true. Like, sometimes you have to drive in front, or like, you know, cut in front of a teammate because you're going to get to the ball before he is. But what you don't want to do is hit the ball when your teammate has a better hit. That's breaking rotation. Like taking a teammate's shot. But if it's actually just your shot because you have a good hit and your teammate's like, but it's my turn, then you should be like, shut up. Be patient. Yeah, patience would be a good thing, but I would just teach rotation properly. Show people like how to give their teammates space to do what they need to do. It's not like 1-2-3 at all. 1-2-3 misleads people. If you talk about rotation as 1-2-3, 1-2-3, people get so misled. Jogu and Jesse. Tips to be more consistent: don't miss. Don't miss the ball. Ah. This time Kronovi doing the Vogan, just jumping with too much forward momentum. Not the greatest finish by Dogu, but Kronovi expected it to go top right, so well mind gamed by Dogu. Perma goalies are still a thing. That's fine. Nothing wrong with a perma goalie. Especially at lower rating where people just don't want to leave their teammates or don't trust their teammates to save anything, so they just save everything themselves. That's fine. Dogu and Jesse are both there. The shot going towards the net, but over zero, able to put it into the corner. And it's the final countdown. Every passing second makes it so much less likely. And as it hits 1 second, it's gonna be this. Am I gonna stream all the way to the grand finals? No, I'm gonna do 2 more series. That was the second one of the day. We're gonna do 2 more. That was the second winners final. Or no, the second winners semi-final. We're gonna watch both of the loser bracket round 1 games. So lower round 1, which is. It's going to be Genesis against Mocket and Flipside against Kings of Urban. 2 fantastic series. We're going to watch both of them, then maybe I'll do some 1v1 casting. I think I will. I'll definitely do it if there's some people around who are willing to play on stream. And that's the sort of defense you want to see. We always talk about how you don't want to have saves, and if you're not going to have saves, that's how you play defense. iBP putting on a clinic there in game number 3.
Yeah, I mean, the best defense is just to stop shots from happening altogether. So if you can just prevent them from even getting in your half, or as soon as they are, just to meet them at every single
Better to hit the ball 100% but not a great hit, or try and hit it hard but not risk missable. It depends what you're trying to do. What I would say to you is, yeah, try and hit the ball, but put yourself slightly out of your comfort zone to do so. So don't like wait until you're 100,000,000% sure that you're going to get a hit and then go for it. Just go for it a little bit faster, a little bit earlier, a little bit higher than you're used to. Because that's the best way to learn, is slightly outside your comfort zone.
So, I mean, obviously, and congratulations as well on your 3-0 victory. Give it up for iBP Cosmic. I mean, you guys have had quite the story coming up to this point. Talked to overZero before, just the hype, the energy, the atmosphere, all that stuff really adding to this excitement. But coming into this event, knowing that you didn't have Gambit, one of the players that was responsible for bringing you guys to this point, I guess, you know, what was going through your mind as you entered the airplane and made your way to Hollywood?
Well, we knew that Gambit was going to be leaving a little bit before he made the announcement, so I decided to talk to Zero and Latch, and we basically boot camped it as hard as we could. We practiced as much as we could because we wanted to really make a splash here at the LAN, and I think we accomplished our goal.
That's awesome. And now you guys are going to be moving on.
Why is
to the
Golden Boy
winner
so much
bracket
lighter?
Final. I mean, did you
Are the
think
players
this
that
was a
shy?
possibility from the start? Full confidence?
I wouldn't say full confidence, but I'm definitely going to act like it was 100% confidence. You know.
Right, right. Hold that in mind. I showed this last week, but let's have another look again really quickly. So Golden Boy asking, was it always 100% confidence that they would make the winners final? Let's find out. What did Kronovi predict him and his team would get in the LAN? Let me check Kronovi's predictions real quick. I made a note of them because he was on mine and Lawler's talk show. So here we go. I showed this last week, but this is Kronovi's predictions right here. He predicted that... Oh, this is wrong, by the way. These two are supposed to be switched. It's supposed to be... edit. No, edit online. Edit in browser. This is supposed to be over here. And this is supposed to be here. So do you guys see that? Let me check if it's on the right place in the screen. Okay, we're going to look at Kronovi's predictions. What did he think Flipside versus iBP? He predicted Flipside to beat his team. There we go. He didn't actually predict iBP to win anything out of the games we asked him. So was it always full confidence? Absolutely not. And was he wrong to not have full confidence? No, nothing wrong with that. Because if we're being honest, we expected Flipside to win. Everybody did. Going into the RLCS LAN, iBP were not looking fantastic, but they showed up at the event, and that's all that matters. So just a little bit of behind the scenes for you there. That's why he's not confident when he answers that question from Golden Boy.
Now you guys are going to be moving
Right here.
on to the winner bracket final. I mean, did you think that this was a possibility from the start? Full confidence?
I wouldn't say full confidence, but I'm definitely...
Correct answer, not full confidence.
act
But
like it was 100% confidence. You know, keep the energy there, keep my teammates up. We definitely...
Kronovi's great in
saw
interviews,
ourselves
though.
here. We decided to win the
He's good at interviews,
Of course.
for sure.
It's always good to put on that, you know, it's always good. Gibbs wanted me to ask you, was he a great
This is
teammate?
funny.
I'm assuming the answer is no.
Yeah, he would be up here if he was. What is that?
Oh, baby.
So excited. Thank you so much. He's like, I'm done, I'm going home. Oh, man. All right, so Northern Gaming, you're going to be facing off against this squad tomorrow. They've looked incredible. I mean, without giving too much away, what's, you know, the game plan, if you can give us a scoop?
Northern Gaming has been looking really strong. They haven't dropped a game yet, but they're a group of players who just kind of fly at the ball and hit it as hard as they can. And I think we're going to beat them on a few counters, for sure. Wide open nets.
Tossing that shade.
That's what I like to hear.
Guys, give
That's
it
what I
up
like
for
to see.
Kronovi and iBP Cosmic. Congratulations.
What was
on
better,
the 3-0
Kronovi's interview
victory.
game
Go
or
ahead,
Gibbs'
break
prop game?
yourself
Oh,
down.
Kronovi's interview
All right,
game for
guys,
sure.
that's gonna do it for
Kronovi's
the
interview game
We're
is
gonna go ahead and toss it
top
over
notch. It's
to
like
our brilliant
second only
analysts.
to Doomsy, probably.
I'm sorry, Gibbs. I love you.
That was so funny. For Gibbs.
Guys,
For Gibbs. I like that they cut the camera to Gibbs after Kronovi said that. That was really good.
I think I love seeing you triggered though, Gibbs. I love seeing when you get triggered. That was amazing.
It's alright, I love Crow anyway. I love him to death.
Amazing match, guys. iBP Cosmic
coasting on through. Now they're 3-0, they're winning their semifinal 3-0. Now they're going up against Northern Game, who won their semifinal 3-0, setting us up tomorrow for an amazing matchup.
Crow, Doomsy, and Jacob top 3. Yeah, they're all fantastic interviewees. Marky as well. Mike's good at interviews.
From the get-go.
Who else is good at interviews?
In the first game, and that Kronovi, he hit it off his back bumper, passed it up to himself.
Yeah, it was just well done by them in Game 1 and Game 3. They just had all the control. And Lochinho in the air has so much control over his car. Great shot to get that just under the crossbar.
Yeah, Gibbs would definitely need to up his mechanical skill, for sure. There's just some things in the game that Gibbs is not confident doing. What 1v1s am I going to cast? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, we'll see. I never, like, you know, schedule people to come on. I just see who's on my friends list at the time when I feel like casting them and invite them, and we take it from there. And then sometimes we crowdfund a $550 prize pool. By sometimes I mean once, but that was pretty cool. Top 5 fabrics used for bagpipes. They're probably all like different variations of sheep stomachs.
Crow is known to over-rotate again, like do that second rotation, which sometimes backfires, but here it was working really well. And we see
Anything specific you do to get used to flipping the right way when you're not facing forward, just drive backwards, sideways a bunch? Yeah, just try not to think about it too much. If you think about it, when you're reversing, or rather, when you're shadowing, and of course when I say shadowing, I mean like the ball's coming towards you and you're facing the same direction that the ball's rolling in, so you're facing your own goal and the ball's rolling behind you towards your own goal. That's shadow defense, because the ball's just like following you like a shadow. If you're in that position, it's very easy. People will try and jump and flip left, but because their car is facing the opposite way that they're actually, their eyes are looking, they'll flip the wrong way. So they try and flip left, but the car goes right. You'll find that if you think about that, and you think about, oh, which direction do I go? Remember, I'm backwards. Remember to flip the opposite way. If you overthink it, you're going to flip the wrong way. But if you just let it happen, if you just, you know, just let it happen naturally, then you're not going to get it wrong.
Gibbs, take it away.
I should have switched it last second. I should have told them to put up Lochinho.
Who did they give the MVP to? They gave over Zero the MVP against Flipside, even though I'd say Kronovia is probably the MVP of that series as well. Just over Zero clutched Game 4. But right before over Zero's clutch Game 4 finish, Kronovia had a clutch save as well. So I don't know. Kronovia for me was day 1, absolutely on fire for iBP, just completely killing it.
So coming up next is going to be Genesis versus Mocket.
Oh, I've got to change my highlight words. Sorry if I've been ignoring anybody. My highlight words always reset.
RLCS International Final. We are live in Hollywood, California.
There we go. So I've made a bunch of highlight words now. It should work. Yeah, the air dribble gave the MVP for sure, but there's more to a series than just a clutch goal. Anyway, that's iBP moving on to the winners finals. We're going to look at another game now. Dutchmen making the upsets. Both these teams were not expected to make the upper semifinals, and they did. So, surprises from day 1.